king. Advancing the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game, but you what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash make it a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man with king? Advancing the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game, but you what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on a crazy weekend where I hurt myself, I don't even know how I hurt myself. I hurt myself doing some crazy things. I think it was that drive. I'm telling you now, don't ever do 16 hours in a car driving. It's not worth that. Trust and believe. And then after that, I go and do a podcast for 6 hours sitting down. It's an incredible life, but at the end of the day, wifey to the rescue. Come and rub my back, please. Make me feel good. Make me feel good. Make me feel. I feel like Halle Berry. Make me feel good. Oh my God. And sure enough, as God is good, Hiroki Totoki said, King, I got a topic for you this weekend. You will not be left alone. This topic will definitely find a home. And I said, Hiroki, you ain't never lie. I appreciate you because when I told these dudes, hashtag no PlayStation 6, they looked at me like I was crazy. They said, King, it's coming out next year. Some of your favorite podcasters, content creators have been telling you fibs, lies, telling you that it was coming out next year. I have been the only person that been standing on my square and told you get that up out of here. I knew before this rampocalypse, all of this stuff that's going on, what was going to happen, why it was going to happen, and we're going to delve deeper into the reasons on this whole subject. Because dudes want to act like I just talk out of my arse. But I want to say what's up to my man, Eric Vaughn. Eric, I salute you, soldier. Lamont Davis, New Soul 9. We're outside. Malcolm X Slacks, we are here. I am Vaziz. What is that? Sim 3839, Dark Zone, Mr. Huck. We're here. And Bobby Say. We are here to get busy. And my man, Paulie Baba, just showed up. Number 2. Now, listen. I'm going to know how it was your weekend. My weekend was fine. Eating grilled shrimps off of the Bobby was definitely one of the highlights of the weekend. Family, friends came over to welcome my son home from college. And as he was here, he got a chance to feel the love, the appreciation. But there's a tall task for him to go out into the world and to handle business. But with a solid base, solid foundation, he is given the opportunity to succeed and fail. Because I want you to know, a lot of guys, I want you guys to know, and I'm talking to my guys here because, you know, we do have a women demographic that actually watches the channel. Oh, yeah, they do watch the channel, contrary to popular belief. But I want to say to the guys, and I want you to understand this, you're going to fail more than you will succeed. Understand that. It's just life. It's just how you pick yourself up and how you persevere and how you don't give in to despair and how you go forward. Not everything is going to be roses. Not everything is going to be how you want it to be. But wake up with appreciation that you have breath and that you're able to do. Oh, let's go! Ginger Prime TV member for 1 month. Soldier V rank. I salute you, Soldier. And I want to say, woo, woo, back to you. Listen, we're going to talk a lot about mental health today because mental health goes a long way. Now, sometimes people suffer from mental health due to outside stress, and outside stress can be a huge factor in how we view things. Imagine this. Imagine you do your absolute best and you feel that the project that you're working on, something that you're doing, is your best effort. And the reception of it is terrible. People are telling you that they don't appreciate your work or that it's just trash. And you felt that it was great. You see, now that we live in the social media era, mental health has become front and center, where everyone has a microphone, everyone has a platform, everyone has access to you at all times. We have to learn to when to shut this thing off. We have to learn when to say, nah, I'm just not going to do that. Now, a lot of weekends, I don't pick up my social media. If you notice, I've been stepping away from Twitter, from any type of social media during the weekends. And I really get out, touch grass, spend time with family, and detox away from the toxic environment, which is social media. No one needs to have access to you 24/7. But when you get addicted to social media, some of the repercussions can be this. This is brought to you by the Gaming Bible and Tom Chapman. Marvel's Wolverine staff get honest about the mental health onslaught over the game's backlash. I concur. Now, I can joke a lot about Wolverine's phase. I can joke a lot about being afraid about playing a mission as Mystique and not knowing if it's Wolverine. Kind of how Halo 2 trapped us and we got to play the Arbiter and everybody was mad. I want you to understand something. Seriously, there are real people that are making this game. The games don't magically get made. There's real people doing the musical score. There's real people making the game. There's real people doing the art direction. There's real people with the story narrative. Every aspect of the game was made by somebody that took love and care in their craft, and they're trying their best. I don't believe there's any developer that's out there, any engineer, any music composer that said, I'm going to put out trash. Not one. And I see a lot of content creators because it's easy to just bag on this thing. It's easy to pile on, if you will. It's cute in the beginning, but I see people running with it. Listen, my videos get probably 2,000, 3,000 views the max. I mean, some videos I got did like 12,000, which was cool. But that's when I was being critical of Xbox. Anytime I'm critical of Xbox, my videos go through the roof. But I understand a lot of things. And I understand that the barrage of hate that you will get, because listen, I'm a predominantly negative PlayStation channel. Majority of my videos is going at PlayStation. So I understand and I accuse the hate that comes my way. And I'm cool with it. I don't have a true problem with it, but I must disconnect every so often because a lot of times it's not justified. Now, what I will say is these people that are working on these games aren't qualified to take this level of hate. Some of these people are just trying to entertain. Maybe it's their first game that they're working on. Now, I'm not saying don't be critical of something. If you see something, say something. But sometimes a lot of you guys go the extra mile. We didn't get a chance to play the game yet. We don't know what is going on with the game. What's the story narrative? I think I kind of got an idea of what the game is going to be. And now if you hear anticipation in my heart and in my voice for the game, it's because it's genuine. Anytime I get a chance to play some of my beloved characters that I got a chance to read in comic books or play with in toys or grow up with in cartoons, I get a chance to take ownership and play them in any game. That's why Disney Infinity was like the ultimate to me. It was Amiibo on steroids. Like to me, I thought Disney Infinity was the highest of toy manipulation in a gaming world, and I wished it never stopped. Right? I still got tons of them, and I still have the platforms, and I still have the little disc that I could play with it. Like in the window right there, I got. I'm gonna take a picture and put it up with it because it was a PlayStation set that had like the Frost Monster, and you was able to put all the Avengers, but you can manipulate them and have different ones there, and it lights up. Again, I'm a big toy guy. Like again, this is. I saw this guy at a con that I went to, and I had to have it immediately because it talks and it does all types of crazy things. But I don't want to condemn the game. I want the game to win. I want the game to win because I want more. And I'm seeing, people condemn it based upon the Ben 10 stuff, and some of you guys are really creative, but then some of you guys are just being malicious just for malicious sake. And I'm just like, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that it's affecting these guys. In a big year for video games, while certain automotive adventure is set to clear up as to what looks like the biggest game of all time, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony have their own exclusives that hope to pull some of the attention away from Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, understand this part. One of the best consoles to be not in the line of fire of Grand Theft Auto 6 is Nintendo Switch 2, because they're going to have Ocarina of Time, I guess the remake, and that is not going to be in the wake of this. And we're going to talk about other titles that's going to duck away from that fade, right? Because now that Grand Theft Auto is legitimately coming out this year, it is set in stone. You're starting to see titles pop up all over the place. So whether you got a Switch, Xbox, or PlayStation, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time remake, Gears of War E-Day, and Marvel's Wolverines mean we're well fed in 2026. And knowing this is the reason why I have all three consoles, right? And knowing that aspect of it, because I'm not missing out on not one of those exclusives. I gave you the merits on what I think would be the best game. I think the best of both worlds is E-Day with the single player and the multiplayer component to it. I thought the multiplayer, if anybody got a chance to play the open beta and the closed beta, you guys actually understand what Horde Siege modes is, what PvP is up to. We just don't know the campaign yet. And I think they're doing it so smart because they're able to give us aspects of the game without actually giving us the full body of the campaign. Wolverine, I think, is at a disadvantage because it has to show gameplay, but it has to show you chunks of story. And I try to avoid it because it's a story-driven narrative game, which will probably be like 12 hours. And I want to play the game in order to understand what's happening throughout the whole thing. And like I said before, I think they're going to tell Wolverine's story in spots, because his memory is fragmented and maybe it tells it from that aspect. So I'm keen on that. And then Ocarina of Time, the remake, I got a chance to see that small little vignette or whatever video of it that Nintendo showed. And I saw Link looking like how I want him to look, right? So again, my Switch is going to get some run. My PlayStation is going to get some run. And my Xbox, it's always on. But when it comes to the latter, Insomniac Games looks like it continues its stellar legacy of the Marvel Spider-Man games and gives another fan favorite, X-Men, its time in the spotlight. Unfortunately, A barrage of negative comments has taken some of the shine off of Logan's animatic clause. When Insomniac's community director, James Stevenson, opening up about Marvel Wolverine and the potential impact this hate could have on the mental health of the studio staff. It can be a lot. I hope you guys don't stop posting for the real ones that actually love games. And what I've noticed is it's just turned into a lot of you guys hate video games. Like, hate them. You can't, for some reason, you can't separate playing around, joking around with thinking this is a real war out here. Like, yeah, I can joke around with PlayStation and saying hashtag no PlayStation 6. And there's a reason why. I think they're going to have a device. I just don't think it's going to be called the PlayStation 6. And I just honestly believe that they're going in a handheld direction, and that's going to be that. And you're just going to have to deal with it the same way that you're going to have to deal with no physical games. It's just the same way. But understanding that this stuff can get a little bit wild. You guys get a little bit crazy. And you're like, you hate a game like, oh, Gears E-Day sucks. No, it don't. Like, literally, no, it don't. That jump button, that clamber button, for some reason, you slide and you doing all this extra stuff. They did it without taking away. I just don't. It's like wizardry. You did it. You elevated it without deflating it, without messing it up. Let's get to the story. Let's see if you mess up the story like y'all did Halo Campaign Evolved. See, y'all like when I ish all over Campaign Evolved, but a lot of you think that I ish on it based upon the feminist movement that I see in the game. No, it's just lazy writing. When I don't care. Just you could just do whatever you can do. Just make greater writing. Like, I don't know what you got to do. Just tell a better story, right? That part. I still gave that game a 9. Why? Because I understand what it means. And it wasn't a pity 9. No, it was a 9 based upon the merits of the game. And that's that I knew that was my man Critical Smoker. Blessings. Critical, I saw you from the corner of my eye and I said, Blue, that's Critical Smoker.
Critical Smoker donated $1 through Super Chat.
Blessings. You're the only one, for some reason, that it comes up blue. Hold on. Let me tell my wife to bring me some water or something because I get parched. I'm talking for an hour. It's absolutely crazy. Blessings, my love. Could you bring me some water or something, please? I totally forgot. Thank you. She's probably working out hard right now. And I can't work out. All right. It's hard to trace exactly where the negativity around Marvel Wolverine has come from. But a lot of bizarrely stems from the fact that his unmasked character model looks like voice actor Liam McCarran. And instead... Oh. Hold on, sir. What the hell is that music in the background? That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. I swear to God, Addict, if that's you, I'm gonna get you. All right. Instead of Hugh Jackman might be used. Listen. First of all, I can't stand Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I just want to put that out there. So they can use anybody. Go for it. They didn't use Tom Holland for Spider-Man. They used a whole different actor. They didn't use Toby. They used who they wanted to use. There are multiverses where different people are Wolverine. I don't believe that the hate for the face had to do with the actor. I believe that it had to do with the fact that he looked like the Black Myth Wukong. And remember, I showed y'all Wolverine has a full mane. He's like a lion, like a wolf. He's a feral animal. He is more akin to animal than he is to man. And I don't think people truly understand that. Let's see it first. Let's see his acting. He's a great actor, honestly, in my opinion. All right, I watched Spartacus. All right, I understand that his acting chops is dope, and he had to take over. Coco, don't. Yo, the level of protection these dogs give me. Blessings. Thank you so much. She's a godsend. A godsend. Oh, my dude.
At Legendary Intel donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Asher. Maximilian, Fight Night Friday.
Blessings. That will be crazy if Asha and Maximilian pull up. I got to reach out to Maximilian. I really do. I don't, because I'm not one of those bother person type of things. You know, I see him, I talk about it. And he could be Hollywooding me. Like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll show up. I don't Hollywood people. Never have, never will. If I'm real with you, I'm real with you. If I'm fake, I'm not. There's just no time. If I can't do it, I won't do it. And I'll just tell you why. But I try to support my people. More recently, the Sentinel boss fight was unfavorably compared to a PlayStation 2 era Ben 10 Protector of the Earth, whereas others has called out everything from the dialogue and plot to the mechanics while comparing X-Men Wolverine Origins from 2009. It sucks. It sucks because I waited for a Wolverine game for so long. Like I wait for a Deadpool game. I wait for I want another G-Unit game, right? I want another Def Jam Vendetta game, like or Def Jam, Fight for New York. I'm a gamer, and if a game sucks, then I'm going to tell you the reasons why the game sucks to me, right? And I know we joke a lot, but some of these people are taking it too serious, and some of these people are being too rude. And I think Twitter highlights that and signal boosts that. Like a lot of you guys get engagement for being as negative as possible. I used to do thought experiments, and I stopped doing the thought experiments because it was taxing on my mental health. I will post something positive, right? And at the same time, I will post something negative. And I would see which one gets the most traction. 95% of the time, it was the negative that got the most traction. One time I posted job listings, and the job equated to you making like $50,000 a year. I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was like for correctional officer or bus driver or something. It was something. And the people was like, that's not enough money. Or just had negative stuff to say. How do you have negative stuff to say where jobs are hard to find, people are fighting for their lives, trying to survive? How can you be negative? How is that a thing? And I realized that there's a lot of hate in people's heart. And it sucks, absolutely, on all serious facets of this. Like, I don't watch a lot of people podcasts because I realize a lot of them be real about what they're saying, right? I told you, this is entertainment. Take this as tongue in cheek. But sometimes when I got to get serious, I'm going to get serious about this stuff. So unfortunately for Stevenson, the comments in his post about mental health was filled with a plenty of abuse and the usual sweet baby ink jibs, and Insomniac is trying to push a woke agenda. I don't like that word woke. I don't like it. I don't like it because it's a blanket statement and it's a dog whistle. And when you hear it, you hear black girl energy. That's what I hear, right? Because the people that was using it for that. They used it for one of my beloved games, The South of Midnight. They use it for another beloved game in The Last of Us 2. And because they were transphobic to some aspects of the game, and they felt that Abby didn't have a right to kill Joel. I talk about this in nauseum, that the story was immaculate. Like, pick apart the story. Tell me what the movie was about. I mean, what the game was about, and Freudian slip. And tell me what South of Midnight story was about. It was no color. in South of Midnight. Like South of Midnight actually showed you it was a class situation. Because if you looked at it in the beginning of the game, it took away that whole color aspect. She was trying to help everyone, every color. And the stories was told damn good. So that dog whistle of woke is a coward's way of not pointing out what is the problem or what they're afraid of or what they don't like. And I point out exactly what I don't like. So when I saw some aspects of some stuff in the trailer, I said, I hope it's not going down Sony's path of feminism. And I said, I don't think that is going to serve the game well. Like I didn't think it served the game in Spider-Man 2 well. And I hope it's not that. And I don't want that. That's my only fear. But am I purchasing a game? Hell yeah. Am I going to support the game by buying the wings? Yeah, because you know what this game doesn't have? It doesn't have the legs of a Gears E-Day. Right? This is a one and done purchase. Right? And then you made platinum the game by getting out all the skins and, you know, find obscure things. You may support the game that way, but outside of that, what is the true purchasing that's going to happen with this game? Right? So your support level, this game is dependent upon, let me move this. I see it on the screen. It's dependent on the extras, skins, consoles, you know, controllers, that stuff. I probably won't buy the controller because I hardly use my PlayStation controllers, but I'm definitely gonna buy the wings. I want it to look better. It's just really plain sitting in my PlayStation 5 Pro. It's plain as hell. And people are saying that they got fatigue. Like, listen, despite the complaints of Insomniac fatigue of Marvel Wolverines looking too similar to Spider-Man, would the same people be moaning if Rocksteady had given them the mythical Superman game in the style of the Arkham titles? This is what I'm talking about. You pick and choose who you hate, why you want to hate. And this is around time for it to be fashionable to hate PlayStation. And it feels like some are aiming at Marvel Wolverines because the negativity surrounding Sony's decision to kill off this in 2028. And I couldn't concur more. I believe a lot of the hate that Sony is getting right now is based upon that. Listen, I was hating it before it became fashionable. I was hating on them pointing out things before it was something that you guys actually wanted to bandwagon on. Remember, I'm the only one screaming hashtag no PlayStation 6. I throw it in my thumbnails. I throw it in my titles. I put a hashtag to it. I give you the reasons why. There's a thoughtful reasons why. Right? And yeah, I do tongue-in-cheek stuff talking about, I want them to go away. They're not going away. They'll become an app. They'll be just like Xbox have become an app. They will all become apps before they disappear because the brands are too strong. But us tearing into this game, like, damn, man, damn. Like, when we got Spider-Man, you know all the love that Spider-Man 2 was getting before we got the game? This is counter. I hope this reverses that. I hope this does the reverse because Spider-Man 2 got so much love and then we actually got the game to realize the writing was horrible. And then they started picking it apart once they got it. And people are not calling out what are they afraid of. Say it, man. Say it with all your heart. Say what you're afraid of and stand on it. But you're affecting people's mental health, man. And it's crazy. What I could tell the staff is this. I'm going to tell y'all this, man. Hey, look at this. Look at this. It looks cool. It looks cool. You know, Ben 10 didn't look that cool, but this does. Listen, what I could tell the staff is do like the king does. Detox from this madness. Walk away from some of the stupidity that you're seeing here. And don't give credence to the idiots that actually just press send. Now, let me see what you're saying. The only person I think could pull off Wolverine as well as Jackman is Henry Cavill. I don't think so. I think Henry Cavill is too big. I don't think so. I mean, have you seen A lot of his other movies that actually failed. He just put out a movie that actually failed. Let's keep him away from that. Wolverine is main getting so much hate because Sony is ending physical disc. And I believe that, Dark Zone. I believe that's the whole truth behind it. Unfortunately, there are too many racist and sexist individuals in this world. I don't think there's too many. I just think that the people that of substance just don't bother with it. And the people of low vibration, Hollywood rules, I salute you. What's good? And he said, "Is a no on Cavill?" I'm all right, definitely, absolutely not. When we got Deadpool, we saw Deadpool versus Wolverine, and we saw Henry Cavill get a chance to play Wolverine. Love that part, live that up, because I hear that he's going to be a mutant. I don't know what mutant he will be. He would play a great Colossus. You understand? He would play a phenomenal Colossus. And I think that Marvel understands how to cast. So I'm going to leave that up to them. Let them cast. And just a cameo, Henry Cavill doing Wolverine and Deadpool was awesome. Good for you. Wolverine gameplay looks good. It does look good. You know, as the game gets closer to release, my heart beats a whole lot more. And that's fair. Because I don't want them to mess it up. Like, we got Marvel token fightings, right? And then I really wish they would have gave different control schemes to the game. It's some control schemes that is too casual for me. Because y'all see we play fighting games on Fight Night Friday. But it doesn't take away from everything else about the game that I feel that the game is great. But I don't think that there'll be a Marvel token fighting Souls 2. I don't think that it's going to sell that well. But will it be one of those games that actually lives in the annals of great games that came out, or great packages that came out? Pause. Yeah, it probably would. But there's some stuff that we need to talk about. Now, I didn't know this was happening. And it seems like Sony is stepping on rake after rake after rake. Oh, let's go. Yeah, you're right. And thank you for giving me that
At
long-awaited
Hollywood
break.
Rules donated $2 through Super Chat. Taron Egerton from Kingsman linked for a while.
Hopefully, that'll happen. But listen, let's get to this. And this is brought to you by Kotaku. Sony terminates Stonks -9800's devs publishers agreement without warning. 14 titles set to disappear in under a week. PlayStation support refuses to listen to my arguments or even respond to my emails in any way, stated Turnox Games. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I'm familiar with this, right? I'm not gonna to tell you that I'm familiar with their games. I'm just bringing you the news as I see it. And I told you that if there's any negative Sony news, I'm going to go for it, because a lot of channels push out only negative Xbox news. It's just my way of balancing the scales, right? I'm just a small channel with a tiny voice. But my tiny voice is going to defend Xbox. Turnox Games, the developer and publisher of several indie titles, including the much-beloved 2023 game Stonks 9800 Stock Market Simulator, has announced that Sony has unilaterally terminated its PlayStation publishing agreement. As a result, all Turnox game titles are scheduled to be removed from the PlayStation Store after August 23rd, and the publisher has been given no explanation for Sony's sudden termination. As spotted by Automaton, Turnox Games announced that sudden termination last night and revealed that 14 of their previously published games on the PlayStation Store will be removed in the next 7 days. PlayStation support refuses to listen to my arguments or even respond to my emails in any way, Turnox Games stated in a post on X. It means I will no longer be able to self-publish my games on PlayStation. I had hoped to release the PlayStation 5 version in 2027 and make a physical disc edition while that was still possible. They can continue. Sadly, that will not happen, but I'll do my best to create a physical edition for the PC and the Switch. Wow. I have a lot of friends that make games, right? Aerial Knights, he makes games. Ginger Prime, Colin. Oh man. Who else? Everborn Saga. Do you know the pride it is to make your own game and self-publish and put your stuff up and to be seen by millions of people? And even if your game doesn't sell millions, to just be seen, to do this, to set out to do a task and get it done, and to be acknowledged by that platform as something of merit. Delisting is a harsh blow to a self-published title. Not giving an explanation, I think you owe it to your developers that you allow on your platform to publish games for the reason why. So they can correct whatever mistake that they made or fix it for their core fan base that actually supported their titles. As many have already pointed out, Sony has been on an anti-shovelware crusade over the past couple of years, wiping out more than 1,000 titles from the PlayStation Store in March of 2026 alone. However, Turnox Game was certainly not a shovelware publisher. Well, not exclusively, at least. Look, there are some suspect titles in Turnox portfolio, like whatever the hell Finger Fitness is, but the majority of the published titles are simply low-budget indie games. Take something like Taramari Complete Edition, for example, that is not shovelware, it's just a very low-budget platformer. Understand, a lot of these developers get a chance to make games based upon their budget, and they're doing it out of pocket, and they're trying to fund themselves to the next big title. I got to give my man Aerial Knights his props, because that man tried and tried and tried, and he got to his last try, and he said, you know what, if it doesn't work here, then I'm out. And he hit, and then he went on to make more games. And I truly am elated for the fact that he tried and he succeeded. He's accredited. Let's not steal this stuff away from these guys. Let's tell them what's going on. So, Stock Market Simulator, which was set to be released on the PlayStation Store, has a little of a game that might sound like shovelware, but is currently sitting at overwhelmingly positive on Steam with almost 3,000 reviews. That's equity. 3,000 people gave you a positive review. That's equity. That's not anything to walk away from and say, well, he's not deserving. Listen, you can read the rest of the article, because when I place these articles up here, is for you to go and finish the articles. It's for me to set it off, to give you a springboard to finish it. Because at the end of the day, reading is fundamental. Let's not, lose that. Let's not lose sight of that. But let's also not lose sight of the fact that I was the one telling you that hashtag no PlayStation 6 is real. That I told you that I had information that Sony wasn't planning on releasing a console to 2030, 2029, 2030. And people said they're never waiting that long, King. Xbox couldn't wait that long. The loser to the generation cannot wait that long. And Xbox lost this generation, i.e. the reason why they're placing their games on the PlayStation platform to begin with. Had they been the victor, I don't think a lot of things... Oh! My man Dip Down Anime. I salute you, soldier. I wish you was there earlier on Friday. I appreciate you. I got a chance to finish Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. And also Season 3 halfway, I think, is the Culling Games. I'm having a great time. I would have loved to do that with you. Pause. Because what you said to me when we watched that movie of Jujutsu Kaisen and that character that I didn't like, it's turning up to be a good side number 2 for Gojo. So you was right, sir. Much love, brother, and respect. Dip down, my brother. He's one of the people that has my phone number. Not too many people have it. And I consider him a brother. I tell him I want him to go to all these shows. I want his platform to be the largest platform that there is. Him and his wife, they are the dynamic duo, and they get the stuff done. So I salute you for coming through. But when these people was telling me that, King, you don't know what you're talking about. The PlayStation 6 is coming out in 2027. And I don't want to throw any of my contemporaries under the bus. Any of my comrades under the bus. I don't want to do it. But I gotta. Because I see y'all making money off of lying to these people. I see y'all lying to these people, telling them that there's going to be a console next year, and it's not. That handheld is coming. You can bank that. You can bank on that. Now, do I believe that the PlayStation 5 Pro is the reason why? Hell yeah. I told you, in order for the prophecy to be true, hashtag no PlayStation 6, you know what it is. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. In order for that to be true, the PlayStation 5 Pro had to come out. And it did. And it locked their legs in position. Because the next device has to be more powerful than the Pro. Now, that's not hard. That's an easy task to overcome. But the issue with this is price point. You see, nobody anticipated the price of the consoles going up except this guy. Now, I didn't expect the price of the consoles that was already in the market to go up. Hell no. But I did know that the components were going to be crazy. And I did tell you that the PlayStation 5 Pro was going to be X amount of dollars. I told you it would be, with a game, going to come out to a wild price. And you laughed at me. I also told you that the PlayStation VR 2 was going to be $1,200. Y'all was like, how is it going to be $1,200? I said, because you needed a PlayStation 5 base. And you needed the VR 2. And that will come up to $1,200. I was right. And I was also right with the PlayStation 5 Pro price. That placed it in a category of, oh my God, not too many people are going to buy it. And those people that did buy it, some people said that they didn't see a difference. I see an absolute difference. I have the television that supports the difference in any title. I have the television, I have the console, I get the most out of it. I ponied up, for lack of a better word, for it based upon what I knew I was getting. And this is brought to you by Polygon and Patricia Hernandez. PlayStation 6 release date is still undecided amid AI crunch, and Sony CEO says, we don't know when we're going to do it. But the king knows. All you have to do is ask the king. It's not coming. You're going to get the handheld. You're going to get the console you deserve. The handheld. You're going to get the PC storefront. You're going to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. And you're going to love it. After analyzing the Switch's trajectory, I kind of knew that PlayStation was a little bit jealous. How is this underpowered machine keeping pace and tearing it up? How are they making games, selling games, and getting away with all the BS that they get away with, talking about Nintendo? And Sony is just watching like, every time I got to put out a more powerful console, I got to juggle between graphics and CPU. Nintendo never has that issue. They put out the lowest spec machine. They put out really good games, and then they just have you buy. Now, we're at a point where we're at diminishing returns, right? Ask Digital Foundry. Understand this, that a PlayStation 6 will not be so far greater than the PlayStation 5 Pro. And if you guys really didn't like the PlayStation 5 Pro, well, then you're going to be really pissed off with the PlayStation 6. So Sony understands that if we put out a handheld that's dockable, that is slightly more powerful than the base PlayStation 5, and we have a Pro out there, if you want that Pro experience, you want that console experience. And we're at a point now where we haven't really truly exploited this current gen of gaming. Because I just got Madden 27, and I'm playing it on my PlayStation 5 Pro. Madden looks like the most incredible Madden that I've ever played. And maybe I've been away from it too long. But I tell you this, I said, let me check by putting in Madden 26. Nah, B, that 27 hit different. It's only on that. Well, whether the world needs a new PlayStation console is open to question. But the PlayStation is planning another system either way. The big question for the Japanese entertainment company is when that release will happen, and how to ensure consumers aren't deterred by the potential high price tag for the PlayStation 6. Think about it this way. The PlayStation 5 Pro right now is $900. The PlayStation 6 will have to be at least $1,200 in order to justify it coming to the marketplace. Is PlayStation in the market for selling you a $1,200 console? See, a lot of you guys are banking that the AI bubble will pop. I'm here to tell you that Anthropic has just secured a $5 billion deal from Wall Street in order to keep on pushing. With OpenAI signing deals across the board with Wall Street, with Nvidia, with Apple, you got to realize there's no such thing as an AI bubble pop. That's not going to end. They're making money hand over fist. They're innovating in areas where we didn't think it was possible. And then you couple those AI chips with the quantum physics chips. Don't forget, those chips are still there. And the only thing that can help push those quantum chips is efficient Blackwell chips. I've been telling y'all for a minute that those prices will never go down. Just the same way y'all look at gas prices and realize they're never going back down to $1. It's not happening. Inflation is at a point right now where we are fighting for our lives. I saw somebody says that if you go to Five Guys, the restaurant, the burger joint, pause, you guys are weirdos. It costs you $25 for a burger, fries, and a soda. Nowhere in this world that you going to a fast food restaurant should cost that much. So in a recent interview with the Wall Street Journal, Sony CEO Hiroki Totoki discussed the company's strategy amid the entertainment successes like Spider-Man Brand New Day and uncertainty of the AI-driven component crisis. Some aspects of Sony thinking will be obvious to PlayStation fans. Hiroki mentioned, for example, that Sony sees franchises like God of War and The Last of Us 2 as flywheel brands that can lend themselves to different categories. What he means is multimedia brands, right? Transmedia. He didn't want to use the word transmedia. He wants to use flywheel. Okay. Transmedia, you can parlay that over into movies, games, toys, anime, different aspects, clothing, stuff like that. And they have shown to be greater than. That's the reason why Cory Barlog is taking God of War and turning it into a universe outside of Kratos. To a lot of our chagrin, that's where they're going with it. That's the reason why The Last of Us made sure that they opened up the world to more characters to tell other stories. Brands that can lend themselves to different categories in entertainment beyond the known television adaptations and major Sony gaming franchises. The company leader teased the anime adaptations as well. And a lot of them, and especially Disney, is leaning heavily into that as well. Though the company has been doing well recently, the profits were propped up by the temporary U.S. tariff rebates. Remember that. A lot of that stuff that you saw Sony that was in a positive was only because they got back that money that they charged us for tariffs and never gave it back to the consumer. Why would they? We're just peons. And what was said? They was said that they saw the price, they agreed to the price. It was a two-party deal. Y'all said yes for that price, and that's it. Right? Boom. They get the money, we don't. The rising costs of the components like memory chips, meanwhile, have pushed Sony to price hike on the PlayStation 5 consoles. But if Sony is struggling to keep costs low for old hardware, new hardware with more powerful components poses a Goliath-sized conundrum. I've been telling you this. They're not in a position of selling new hardware cheaper than current hardware. They're also not in a position of selling you $1,200 machines. This is the reason why I find Xbox Helix a very interesting case study. Because right now, you have the Series X that is going for $749. That is mind-boggling. But I believe that Project Helix will damn near double the price. And the reason why I'm saying that is, let's say it comes in at 13 and some change. There's going to be accessories with it that's going to push it to that 14 and some change. Have y'all noticed that the Steam Machine came out and nobody's talking about the Steam Machine? What happened to the Savior? What happened to everything all good under Steam? They put out a weak machine for an exorbitant amount of money, $1,400 for a Steam machine. You got to be out your rabbit behind mind. That is absolutely insane. But yet they do it. So I believe that Sony looked at that and said, oh, we can't do that. And they looked at the Nintendo model and said the Nintendo model is the better model. Now, acknowledging the impact that the trade wars and disrupting the supply chain for computer chips are having on the company, the CEO told the Wall Street Journal that Sony needed to take some time to take some action. Otherwise, we cannot survive in this landscape. Though Toroki doesn't outright say it, this mentality may explain why Sony decided to cease the production of Blu-ray discs in 2028. The business strategy has proven unpopular for gaming fans who fear that an all-digital future may mean both the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 6. Concerning things around game delisting or long-term ownership abound, fans are voicing their displeasure nearly every time Sony announces something new in the gaming world. They are delisting titles right now. They took a small developer and delisted 14 of his titles without provocation, without a response. If they can take somebody that publishes for them, then you as a consumer are cooked. This is not doom and gloom. This is just factual. But I don't believe that they're going to produce a PlayStation 6. They're going to produce a handheld. And the handheld is going to come in at a very good price. That price is going to be what we all want it to be. $700-800. Now you look at an $800 handheld, screen, dockable, move around, a PlayStation in your handheld, you guys will fight the devil for that. And I understand that is honestly the truth. But you know something? I got to say this, right? This is what I wanted to see. Hold on. Oh, that's why I had to cut that Oh, okay. So we're just gonna look at. I can't even. Damn, man. All right. So let me tell y'all what that was. They're playing Wu Tang, and I can't do this. But I was gonna do the Infinity Ward Call of Duty trailer, and this was this. They said this is supposed to be the intro, and they're playing Tupac, Wu Tang. I can't play that because it's gonna demonetize the whole video, right? But at the end of the day, joint looking good. This is the first Call of Duty that's supposed to be this gen only. And I've been waiting for these companies to grow the balls to just give us titles for this generation, especially now when this generation costs more than ever. Why not show the incentive? Why not detether yourself away from the previous generation? And it's no time like the present. Start making these titles never cross gen. You got titles like Wolverine, you got titles like E-Day. Well, see, Xbox has a unique aspect to it because you're able to cloud stream your games. Your games that you own, you're able to cloud stream them. Because Xbox is a platform that is Game Pass. Game Pass is the absolute platform when it comes to Xbox. It allows you the functionality to play everywhere and anywhere how you want to play it. Now, I did not see this at all. I thought it was a little bit more deep. I thought they was going to show battle aspects of it, but obviously they don't, right? Okay, so definitely going to get that off. And I like to watch stuff fresh. So a lot of you guys, I'm not like, a lot of other content creators that watch it ahead of time and gives you their opinions on something. Well, here's a title that just came out, and we can get into that. We're in the Xbox aspect of things right now. All right, so this is brought to you by Pure Xbox and my man Frazier Gilbert, the official KNN news reporter. If you know Frazier Gilbert, let him know Xbox Frontline loves his work, and he's heavily featured here. The Future Night is out on Xbox and is inspired by classic electronic handheld games. Let me tell you something. I was a pocket gamer, a huge Nintendo pocket gamer, game and watch type of dude. I did this in nauseum, and this is fundamentally what has broken me to this day. Those titles was the greatest for me. Look at that. It's stuff like this that makes me happy, because that means somebody grew up in my era that understood what this meant for us. Look at it. I know a lot of you guys is like, this is old man stuff, but without this, there's no Wolverine. Without this, there's no Last of Us. So again, I gotta.
El caballero del futuro.
That looked dope. That looked dope. All right, so let me get back to this. Let me just tell you where you can get it. All right, the frenetic action is an LCD aesthetic. One of the new releases that we overlook for our indie highlights in August of 2026 feature earlier this month is something called Future Night, which has recently released on Xbox and boasts a really cool LCD visual aesthetic. The game is a 2D shoot 'em up, which you get a chance to play a robot attempting to save humanity's memory, taking place inside the technology of a calculator of the liquid crystals display. It switches between horizontal and vertical scrolling as you progress through the 8 biomes that it offers. Go check it out. I want to know how much it costs. It's $14.99. Go figure it out. Go make it happen. It looks kind of fun. Listen, I'm going to go figure it out. I'm going to go capture that. I'm going to go get that, make that happen. But that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because again, little indie developers are cool. Now, one of the developed games that is on Steam right now that I've been waiting for an Xbox version of this game. I like beat 'em ups, and this had turned into something weird other than just to beat 'em up. And this is brought to you by Pure Xbox and Craig Reed. Samson, the developer, confirms that a September release window for the Xbox Series console is coming. Do you remember the game called Samson? Prior to the mixed reception at launch, the game had a huge potential. Its blend of Driver and Mad Max gameplay, inspired by a serious amount of hype building up to what ultimately became a massive flop. That sucks. Samsung's PC launch was rough, to say the least, but that didn't deter the developer, who promised major improvements and eventual release on Xbox consoles, now revealed it to be coming sometime in September. If you've not heard of Samsung before, allow me to get you up to speed within the next few streets of Tardanasan or whatever. A city of crime, muscle cars, and fisticuffs. The game has been compared to that of a no-nonsense, straight to the point PlayStation-style driver beat 'em up. Here's the official description. Samson returns to Tatarstan, a city that has shaped him hard. Pause. Where every fight is close and every escape is earned. He owes dangerous people more than he can pay, and now they're using his sister to force his hand. The clock is ticking. The only way out, though, is through anyone who stands in his way. I thought the game looked good. A little shaggy. He looked like Joe came back in a second life. And I thought the leather jacket looked cool. I thought the city looked cool. I heard it was a little janky at points, but who doesn't want a little jank in their games? I'm looking for it to get a little jank in my game. Hopefully it doesn't cost too much. Hopefully it's in that budget-friendly range that allows me to enjoy it. And what I really would have loved for it to drop inside Game Pass. To be serious with you, like, hey man, let's see that happen. But this is another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, right? And this is brought to you by Pure Xbox and Craig Reed. Xbox has explored using Activision for future Halo games, suggests the rumor. Now, what I'm going to tell you is, you see this scene right here? I hated this scene. As much as I hated everything about this early aspect of the missions, this scene right here made me almost vomit in my mouth. This is what really threw me over the edge. Johnson comes out and, good one, Chief. Man, I just thought he was a no-nonsense drill sergeant that got to the point that was about business that made him the comic relief. He's a caricature of himself. It's been a few weeks since Halo Campaign Evolved launched, and generally positive but somewhat mixed reception, mostly attributed to the troubled development and the lack of multiplayer. Now, the rumor mill has spun up claims that Microsoft is exploring plans to outsource parts of Halo's future development to Activision. Understand this, they was outsourcing majority of this game anyway. I heard that it was supposed to be upwards of like 15 different outsourced individuals that helped out on the game. And I'm talking about development companies. Listen, look, it says it here. Halo journalist Mr. Ribs recently posted a short video detailing some of the supposed production issues faced by Halo Studios, mostly how the co-developed Halo campaign Evolved with 15 other studios was reportedly mismanaged. That level of interaction outside of core studios is wild. I can understand how you can miss your target based upon how broad a developer pool that is. If Activision can do something like side stories, like let's get, you saw that team that they put together with the team that I didn't like, right? I forgot what they call Hawk team, Falcon team, whatever the hell, stupid team. Let's say they take that team and you could tell their story while how they got stranded, then the Master Chief showed up. Do that. You have so many individuals in that pocket universe. Tell me a story of what happened with Locke and his team. Tell me stories. You can get to Arbiter stories. Tell me stories. Tell me a story of how the brutes, what happened to Atriox. Tell me stories. You don't have to do main stories with Activision. You could do side stories. You see how God of War and Cory Barlog understands that there are aspects of the God of War story that needs to be told from a different perspective. I honestly feel that they should have went with another aspect other than third person or something when it comes to Auntie of War. I can joke all I want about it, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to own it. But Activision, and I told you, I would rather them close down the studio if they can't get it right and give the IP to somebody that is more coherent in their vision. Understanding what Master Chief truly meant. It was a war-type simulation sci-fi shooter. This was our Star Wars. This was it. So, understanding what Master Chief truly means, I think you need to get it to developers that know what he truly means to the fan base and tell stories from that aspect. Not saying that the Hell Jumpers didn't hate Spartans. Tell a story from a broken Spartan standpoint. Tell it from a Spartan that wasn't as great as Master Chief. Let's get back to that. Let's make that a thing. Good storytelling will always catapult a game to the stratosphere. Just changing the locale of the development and the developer won't make it better. Because if you're going to still do the same things under a different name, 343 Halo Studios, then what the hell are you truly doing? Absolutely nothing. And I'm going to tell you this. This is what blew me away. This is brought to you by Xbox and Pure Xbox and Fraser Gilbert, the official KNN News reporter. Kingdom Hearts 4 joins Play Anywhere, along with multiple other surprises. I'm definitely buying this on my Xbox. See, I can't even play this because hold on, shut up. Because of the fact that the music itself. All right, you may have seen this over the weekend. Kingdom Hearts 4 was treated to a new trailer in the late 2027 release window as part of the Disney D23 event. That event was lit. And even better news that it's confirmed for Xbox Play Anywhere title, which means that you'll be able to play Kingdom Hearts 4 on your Xbox Series consoles as well as your Xbox PC app without having to pay a second price. Also, bizarrely, the same can't be saying for upcoming re-releases of Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 arriving in October. Those still don't have a Play Anywhere tag on it. Now, I want you to understand this. Play Anywhere can be applied to titles after the fact. Yo, yeah, tell the history like Halo Reach. I agree with you. I agree with you. Anyway, there's a bit more on what to expect from Kingdom Hearts. Brand new adventure awaits the world of Disney Pixar. Coco joins Kingdom Hearts 4. Discover the exciting new features, including action-packed sequences where you can play as Donald and Goofy. Can't wait for that. As well as the exploration segments following King Mickey as he searches for clues to the whereabouts of the missing Sora. Kingdom Hearts 4 is now available to wishlist on the PlayStation 5 series consoles, on Xbox, on PC, Nintendo Switch 2, Steam, and an Epic Store. And for those other surprises, we spotted interesting Xbox Play Anywhere editions that we hadn't anticipating. And the main one is Armor Reforger, which randomly got XPA support last week after 4 years on the series consoles. The full launch for the Reforger was back in 2023, in which it sees the late XPA inclusion here. Listen, let's talk about this game here. Let me see. Oh, that's 4 minutes. We ain't doing that, but God bless. At the end of the day, XPA is the reason why I choose Xbox. I choose Xbox because I have an Xbox ROG Ally X, and I support Xbox to the fullest. I honestly believe that is the greatest feature that they are actually supporting to the fullest. But this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, The King. And I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for showing up today and rocking out with me as we talk about the mental health over there for Insomniac. Yo, it's real. And the best word of advice that I can give you guys is tune out, tune off, touch grass, and don't feed into the hate. Let your game speak for itself, and let's see what happens after that. But I want you to do what I'm about to do, because I got to get back to Hell Is Us. I want you to go where game is game and win is win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass. But before you play the Game Pass, I told you I'm the unmitigated best at this. And if you got anybody better than me, then put them up.
What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no riddling. Moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?